from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, December 29th. So we have the moon in Sagittarius energy going void, of course, at 6:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're shifting into Capricorn energy at 11:39 p.m., which of course is going to push us into the new moon window energy. And of course, we're just creeping in this new moon. We're just moving into the depths of the darkness. Again, new moon is the dark phase of the moon. There's no illumination of light in the sky. And as this particular transition takes place, we also have Chiron, the wounded healer, going direct here today. There's an astro forecast out for your listening pleasure. And of course, if you have your December energy guide available to you, you're going to want to flip to the ending part of that particular workbook because we are, with Chiron, at the second last astro event for the month and essentially for this year. Of course, the last event will be this new moon in Capricorn. And again, there is an astro forecast for that. There is a new moon manifesting guide for this particular event as well that I'm going to definitely encourage you to download to get in alignment with, because this is a very intense manifesting energy opportunity that we are gifted with to close out 2024 and the karmic cycles that of course came with it, and really set our sights on the goals, on the vision, on the dreams that not only we want to manifest throughout the course of 2025, but pushing us into this next 5-year cycle. So with all of that being said, there are 10 different aspects popping off here today. 7 of them are going to involve the moon. The moon, while still in Sagittarius energy, going to make a little bit of an awkward interaction with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desire, even our anger. He's currently retrograde in Leo energy. And so this is definitely going to kind of put some ants in our pants. We have a little bit of restlessness kind of taking over. We're kind of getting frustrated with our inability to take action, to make moves, because of course Mars' ass is sat on the bench. We have to observe what's going on instead of being an active participant, and especially where our heart space is concerned. We're having a change of heart where new wants, needs, and desires are starting to be realized, and therefore the path, the plan, the strategy to move on and move forward needs to be revised. So we're definitely going to be kind of pushing the boundaries of trying to contain our impulses, contain our, let's call it excitement / anxiety with this particular interaction. Now we're going to get a little bit of help because the moon in Sagittarius is going to trine, which is a beautiful interaction with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is currently retrograde in Aries energy. This is going to be the last interaction that Chiron is going to be making with any of the planets before stationing direct, which has a huge significance to it because, of course, with Chiron in a retrograde, we are looking inwards at our mental health, at our emotional health, at our spiritual health, and our physical health as well, to see where it is that, again, we're kind of, caught up being the victim of this egohood mentality, when realistically speaking, we should be examining the areas that aren't functioning as well, and we should be bossing up. We should be taking care of it. We should be making some adjustments, some improvements to be the best version of self. The trine means that we're working with fire on fire energies, which of course is going to help burn away the junk and the gunk, emotionally and mentally speaking, and then kind of reignite a fire, a spark, a flame, the spiritual warrior spirit, this mood and attitude that we are all going to be shifting into once Chiron goes direct. This is putting us in a situation to, again, the moon and Sag, thinking about the future, thinking about it in the most optimistic, most, let's call it positive way possible. We're starting to see options and opportunities for growth, for healing, for evolvement. But just as we're kind of making a little bit of headway here, of course, we're going to have to be pulled back for just a sec. We have the moon in this Sagittarius energy making a very harsh interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who of course is retrograde in Taurus energy, trying to highlight for us where it is that we're resisting making some of the changes in our physical realms of people, places, and things that of course we're no longer attached to, but why are we still holding on? Well, this particular interaction probably going to create a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of restlessness, adding to the ants in our pants, if you will, because we want clarity on what the picture of the future is supposed to look like. We want all of the details. We want to know what is going to face us around the corner in this uncharted territory, so to speak. But of course, if you've been listening to me and you know what's going on in 2025, you would know that we have to surrender to our ego, meaning we have to move forward in faith. We have to trust the plan. We have to trust the path, even though we're not going to have the clarity that we want. We're not going to have all the information and details ironed out in the way that we wish that we could. And so this is going to be a tough chapter for a lot of people to lean into intuition and faith. 2:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Chiron, the wounded healer, stationing direct. So again, going to encourage you to take a listen to that astro forecast. Going to encourage you to download the December energy guide if you haven't already. Flip to this particular chapter, kind of capture what's going on for you, especially coming under this holiday season. A lot of triggers and activations were definitely triggered and activated, therefore showing us where it is that we have more healing work to actually do. We have the moon in this Sag energy sextiling, which is a beautiful interaction with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money. She's in the final degrees of this Aquarius energy. We love fire and air working together because there's going to be a spark. There's going to be an aha moment. Now, this little, let's call it reignition of passion, of excitement, of wants, needs, and desires, definitely going to put into focus what we need to feel safe, secure, and stable. That's what Venus is all about, especially where relationships and money matters are concerned. But we're feeling good, we're feeling positive, we're having huge downloads, huge insights, and we're definitely feeling pulled in the right path, in the right direction. 4:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the sun in Capricorn energy going to be making a very harsh interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who of course is retrograde in Taurus energy. So Earth on Earth doesn't feel so good, especially when it's not the greatest aspect, because we are very, very aware of our physical body, of our limitations, of our restrictions, of our physical environment, of the boundaries, of the foundations, of the structures that are blocking us from moving on and moving forward. And here's the thing, it kind of jolts us, because that's what Uranus does. It destabilizes us. It gives us a little bit of an oomph, if you will. And so we're going to feel like we want to make a move, but there are no moves to actually be made. And so this is a good test, if you will, to see where it is that we're kind of crawling out of our own skin, trying to make some progress in a new path, a new direction, when realistically speaking, the only moves to be made at this particular juncture is wrapping up the past, eliminating, releasing things from the old realm, the old reality that the old version of self had built and created. Although Uranus does bring some unexpected events, maybe changes in plans, maybe, just different perspectives, there's going to be some kind of pop-off that's going to test our patience in a big way. And again, we're still in an exam period. There are nothing but harsh interactions, astrology speaking, taking us into the new year, because we have to see whether or not we learned anything. So this is going to put us in a situation where maybe we are being triggered and activated in a not so nice way in order for us to override the inner realm negative programming or the emotions that have us kind of in that dark state of bleakness. This is going to help us take a different approach. This is going to help us kind of adopt a different perspective, a different narrative, if you will, and just kind of, I'm going to say, stimulate our options and opportunities, that dream state that we're trying to piece together in our mind's eye of what it is that we want to do, what we want to pursue, probably going to be pressurized to take a different approach, to take a different path, to take a different direction. We have the moon in this Sag energy making a very positive interaction with Mars. So we started the day off with a not so nice interaction with Mars, again, creating the ants in our pants, that restlessness, that frustration, even that anger. With this particular interaction, we are focused, we are motivated, we are hell-bent, damn well, and determined to see something through. Now, granted, we're not taking action and making moves in the external realm, but we are trying to build ourselves up, cultivate the excitement, spark, fire, flame within us in order to stay focused on this greater, grander vision that, again, we're starting to get excited about, that our heart is asking us to pursue, and we are definitely focused on what the plan needs to be. Now, just when we're starting to feel good, again, the moon in Sagittarius energy going to get in the boxing ring square off with Neptune. Neptune is in his place of power in this Pisces energy. This square is going to highlight where we're going through growing pains, emotionally speaking, because there is an overwhelming amount of information, of possibilities to kind of sort through at this particular juncture. The Neptune energy is kind of overwhelmed with all the different possibilities, with all of the to-do list items that would need to be done before we can actually go ahead, pursue a new path towards our goals or visions or dreams. And although the moon in Sag is trying to keep the most positive outlook, positive mood, attitude, and perspective, because we get overwhelmed emotionally and energetically speaking, we get a little bit down on ourselves. We're kind of creating more confusion than there needs to be. We're kind of losing sight of the goal, the vision, the plan, the dream, if you will. And we're kind of losing faith, losing trust within ourselves, trust within the plan. And again, kind of low on hopes, wishes, and dreams. It is at this particular point, 6:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that the moon is going to go void, of course. That's when things get shaky, uncertain, unstable, and of course, adding a little bit of fuel to the already destabilized type of fire, we're definitely going to feel jumbled, scatterbrained all over the place and not really sure what it is that we're thinking or what it is that we are feeling. We have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, in this Sagittarius energy, making a very harsh interaction with Mars. Mars, of course, retrograde in this Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. So this is going to create a lot of mental tension. You know, the moon just went void, so we're unstable anyways. And now there's going to be pressure in that headspace. There's mental tension. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of restlessness that wants to put us in a state of action. But again, what action is available to us? Not a whole lot. And so here we have the option and opportunity to, first of all, realize where we have a sense of urgency, where it is that there are some very strong impulses coming up to put us into situations to take action and make moves that, of course, we're not being supported in actually making at this time. And this is going to be a test of our energy management. If you can slow your ass down, kind of get organized, get grounded here, and pace yourself, meaning energetically speaking, we have the ability to channel some of this not so nice energy, the scatterbrain energy, this restless energy, into cleaning up our environment, into wrapping up the loose ends of the past. But the want, need, and desire, the impulse, the urgency to jump into something new is what we have to resist. Again, we're in an ending and a closure phase. So if you can channel this energy correctly, you're going to accomplish a lot, meaning getting organized, getting your shit together, removing, eliminating a lot of the things in our mental plane, our emotions in our physical realm that are going to slow up the process once we get going here. And so again, if you can't override this particular energy and you allow it to manifest in the worst kind of ways, look out. You're going to be projecting a lot of not so nice energy into the world, onto the people that you are surrounding yourself with, and going to create a mess for yourself that eventually you're going to have to clean up before you're given the green light, go ahead to move on and move forward. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in this void, still in Sagittarius energy though, making a very positive interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, who of course is retrograde in this Taurus energy. This is going to give us a huge download of insight. This is going to give us an aha moment, a shift in perspective, a shift in mood, definitely orienting to the more positive, more confident type of mood and attitude. We're focused on the future. We realize what it is that we have to remove in our physical realms in order to actually build towards the future that we want to start manifesting. And of course, this is like a lightning bolt. So yeah, there may be some extra energy bouncing around in the physical form. If you haven't listened to this week's Ascension forecast, I'm going to recommend you do so that you understand where the energy is popping off in the physical form and where to expect it. But this is just kind of giving us, I'm going to say, a little bit of an oomph in order for us to put things into perspective, for us to orient to, again, the things that are working, the things that are going well, the things that we want to strengthen and build upon, instead of being in that funk that many of us have been in for, well, since the, let's call it, entirety of Capricorn season thus far. 11:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon shifts into Capricorn, and we kind of wrap up the day on that particular note. Again, that's going to throw us into that new moon energy, the dark phase of the moon. And so there's going to be a seriousness, there's going to be a somberness, there's also going to be a heaviness and a weight that takes over the physical form. Again, going to encourage you to listen to the Ascension forecast.